Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, folks, this is an unusual, unexpected video. I had a sub ask me, do I still rock with the guys I used to give shouts out to that I said I listened to in the YouTube sports community? They want to know if I still rock with Sports and Fitness Rants, Skap Attack, Uncut Hoops, Too Raw, and who else? Angry Old Hoops Fan. These guys. And listen, and he said something about, these are the guys you said you listen to. Do you still rock with them? Because you kind of seem mad. And you went at Skap Attack. Look, this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't even know if they rock with me. I haven't heard my name mentioned by none of these guys lately. I never even heard my name mentioned by any of these guys except for Too Raw in Sports and Fitness Rants. That's the only guys I heard give me shouts out. And I think Michael Jordan fans are the best. Said something to me about coming on the show or something like that. And this is what I'm going to tell you. I basically listen to these guys every single day. I don't have nothing against them. I think they all do good work, whether they shout me out or not. I'm not mad if they don't shout me out. They don't have to, but I listen to them every day. Now, you know, they might not like me because I've been saying a lot of stuff that isn't affiliated with sports. I think we can say, I can say that basically 99% of what they say about, sports, I agree on. I might have some different takes about the things I say, but, they might have some different things about my political views. And what I can tell you about my political views is that, it came to a certain point in my life. I had to, either keep going away. I kept going, believe in the system, believe in its history, science, everything. Or I could listen to other people and see their views on life. And just because you listen to other people on their views in life, it doesn't mean they're right. Okay? There's a lot of people I listen to that end up being liars. Or what I tell half truths, right? And you can still take something from those people. You know what I'm saying? And people get mad at me because I say the word conspiracy theorist. I don't like that. But the fact is, people have been conspiring on people for thousands of years. The government have conspired on the people. Martin Luther King got conspired on. Malcolm X got conspired on. JFK got conspired on. A lot of people got conspired on. So I don't like the word conspiracy theorist, because when I hear these words, I feel like, we're just in it with these people that rule over us. You know what I'm saying? And these people they're part of the government. It don't matter if they was part of the government in the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1900s, or now. They're all the same people in a different era, conspiring against the people in some way or another with a smiling face. Nobody's going to always agree on life. Nobody's always going to agree on life. And that's why we have, every 4 years, you guys go and vote, right? And because you vote, you have a Democrat and you got a Republican, and they have different views on life, right? And how life should be ran in the United States, the economy, school, different things like that. So these people aren't together about their views, right? So to me, I don't see how people could be Republican, have only a Republican view or a Democrat view. There's something I like about what the Republicans say. There's things I like about what the Democrats say. So I could never be one way. And we know once these people get in office, the majority of things they say they're going to do, that they said, they live by, you know what I'm saying? And that's their standard. They never do it. And they make up excuses why they couldn't do it. So, there's always different views about life. Martin Luther King and JFK had a different view, right? Not JFK, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X had a different view, right? Some people took Malcolm X. Some people took Martin Luther King's views. When the Europeans and the Indians were fighting, some people took the Indians' views. Some people took the European views. Contrary to what you think, even a lot of Europeans took the Indian view of life, right? And some of the Indians took the European views of life. So if you want to just think closed-minded that Europeans came over here and just killed a whole bunch of Indians, that's stupid. That's a stupid view. You know what I'm saying? That's people telling you on TV. You can clearly read this stuff, that Indians and Europeans, they actually went in, what would you want to call it? I can't think of the word, intermixed, or, became friends and stuff like that. You look at most of the Indian wars, the majority of them, Europeans fought on the side of Indians, against other Indian tribes, and other Indian tribes fought with Europeans to go against other Indian tribes. And if you look at it, a lot of them, you have, say like the Blackfoot, and you have like the Spanish fighting the Brits and the Seminole, and that's how a lot of these Indian wars went. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has different views on stuff. Some of the views might not be politically correct, my views, and some of them might be harsh. You know what I'm saying? But we don't live in a soft world. You know what I'm saying? So they might not like my views politically, or what I stand for. That's fine. I don't like some of their views, but I'm not gonna hunt them down and try to go against them for their views, because that's their views. That's what they've been taught. Maybe they haven't been taught nothing else, or they might not have been want to know something else. Okay, you got Christians, you got Muslims, you know what I'm saying? You got different views of religion. Okay, and that's it. To me, I think I've been through that stuff. The same thing that most people, live by. To me, I think I graduated that stuff. I graduated it. You know what I'm saying? The people that teach us this stuff, that we think that control us, run our lives or whatever like that. They don't believe half the stuff that they're teaching the people, man. They don't, and that's how they're able to control the people. Because if they went by half the stuff they teach the people, guess what? They would be going by it. They don't go by it. They do the opposite. So no, I don't have nothing against the guys I just mentioned. I think they do great work. I think they're the best guys out there doing the work. Trying to tell the truth. And truthfully, the people who tell the truth, they won't get the most views. They won't get the most views. I mean, I've looked at my views, kind of like go down from when I first started, and I thought it was just me at first. But when I went back and look at some of these channels, I look at their views. Some of these guys got way more subs than me, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. And for as many subs as they got, they don't get a lot of views. Actually, for the subs they got, they get, actually, in comparison, less views than me. And I think YouTube is controlling a lot of this stuff. They don't want a lot of this truth out here. We don't, the guys that I mentioned, as well as me, we put a lot of great content out for a hot minute now. And, ESPN, Fox, and these type of people see this, and they still continue to lie. They still continue to do the things they do, even though the truth is out there. And that's what's so criminal about the whole situation. They know the stuff that they're saying. So YouTube is controlling a lot of views, a lot of viewership around YouTube. You got a lot of what do you want to call it? You got a lot of sports players coming into YouTube, and because who they are, they don't even have to be telling the truth about anything, but because who they are, they're able to suck up a lot of views from a lot of people that's telling the truth. That's just how it is. The thing about Skap Attack, I'm gonna tell you, I said on this channel that this guy should have 100,000 subs by now. He does good work. He does good work, and I've even put that on his comment before, and said good things about him. Now, people came at me for making that video about Skap, and I can see he really don't care about me, because the same thing I said on my video about him, I left on his comment. I left right on his comment, and I'll tell you in a minute. But the whole thing with Gilbert Arenas, why would you need his approval, and it need to be justified by him? And I know a lot of his fans say, "Oh no, but he's out there. He's putting out the truth on a bigger platform." And what I gotta say about this, I don't like the fact that Gilbert Arenas is a liar, and he makes money basically off the Jordan LeBron lies straight up, and he already knows that. He's already done said it, that he says these things so he can get viewership, and that means money, right? And he averages like I think it was like something like 100K per video. So I'm like, why would you need to debate a liar though? So you debated him, and what did he do? He does what he always does: lie. He just straight up lies. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is it amounted to nothing, really. It amounted to nothing. He just stacked one lie on top of another lie, because Skap done did the work. He done did the work on Kobe versus LeBron versus Shaq and all this stuff. He done put in videos out there, and he cooked. He been cooking for a minute now. So why would you need to? You've already, I think he did enough work to convince enough people that want to know the truth about the matter, where Kobe should be placed in his opinion, and what Shaq did and what Shaq didn't do. LeBron's career in a nutshell, and how he's not better than Kobe. Skap already did the good work. So why are you trying to convince a liar? It doesn't make any sense to me. He's just a liar. I wouldn't even want to go again. And that's why I said they wanted me to go on Michael Jordan fans are the best when I first started doing my channel. And then when I seen Gilbert Arenas on there, I'm like, no, I would never go on there. I would never go on there, because Even though people say, oh, he gave Gilbert a chance to get on there. So what did Gilbert do when he got on there? Gilbert didn't say, hey, man, I was wrong. I didn't look at this right. I should have looked at that. I wasn't, looking at things right. You guys are right about that. Nope. What he did was he came on and he started lying. He started lying. And then FYF came. FYF is the biggest joke. He's a wannabe Gilbert Arenas. That's all he's a wannabe Gilbert Arenas. That's all he is. He's a wannabe. And they're best friends or whatever like that. They make money literally off a line. I would never debate or talk to anybody like that. Anything that goes way beyond political views or what you think about life. If you can't even tell the truth about that, who cares about your political views? You can't even tell the truth about sports. Like, these dudes are incredible, and that's what I'm saying. I said this before. That's the world we live in, folks. A lie is beautiful. It feels good. The truth is ugly. Get it away from me. So that's what these dudes do. They lie to make money, right? FYI, oh, I got Jordan as my GOAT. So you slander his name in his career every other video. How does that make any like, you should have no subs after that. You slandered his name in his career as your GOAT, and then you prop up LeBron James every other video. That makes no sense, folks. That makes no sense. They're the ESPN and the Foxes of the world, right? That's how these guys are. They straight lie for money. And it's crazy, man. I can't rock like that, man. Those guys I listen to, like I said, Angry Old Hoop Fan, Uncut. Even though I think Uncut, when I first started listening to him, he really wasn't going in on LeBron like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I think he finally came around. He started saying little things, but he finally came around to where enough is enough. There's nothing good about this guy. There's nothing. Dude, I was one of the first ones to take his career from when he came in the league in 2003 all the way until like 2018, year by year, stat by stat, in every soap opera and everything that happened in his career up to then. For real. I was the first one. No, not one show, not one video and then the next. No, on the whole damn video, I cut this dude apart in pieces. I cut him apart in pieces. And that's just because I used to have to go against these dummies in these debate groups on Facebook. And I got a harsh reality out of that because, I didn't even know. They just was banging on Jordan for no reason. I'm like, damn. And half of their stuff, they really wasn't coming with no real evidence, no real facts. It was just more comical, like the Stephen A. Smiths, to a certain degree, protecting LeBron. But, the Nick Wrights and the Shannon Sharps, it's more comical. There's no real facts or no real evidence of what they're saying. Or they tell half-truths and stuff like that. And that's how the guys were coming. So I said, well, damn, I got to go back and really, examine LeBron's career and dissect it game by game, year by year, season by season, playoff game by playoff game, all this stuff. And what I found out was this is the biggest joke. The LeBron James career is the biggest joke on sports, in sports, on sports fans, should I say. It's the biggest joke on sports fans of all time. LeBron James in his career. It really is, folks. And I wasn't a big LeBron James fan when he came out, but I was with the hype. Everybody, when Kobe came in, he was with the hype. When, Tracy McGrady came in, whoever big star came in, he was with the hype. You wanted to see what was going on. Right? And it really didn't seem so bad for a minute. The dude kept losing and melting down and stuff like that, but it wasn't that bad because he really wasn't saying nothing stupid per se and doing nothing stupid. He was just losing, melting down and stuff like that. So we know he wasn't like no Kobe or no Jordan, but when he started being on these super teams saying stupid stuff, and it just got like out of hand. And the media really made it that way. The media made it that way. Let's be serious. If he had the career of like how guys were talked about and judged in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, it wouldn't really be nothing to talk about, really. He would just be another failed superstar. That's all he would really be. Yes, he was good, but he'd just be another failed superstar. They want to keep going on after he failed and failed and failed. They want to just keep going on, propping him up. What's he going to do next? What's he going to do next? Where he going to go next? No. They will move on. And in fact, they always talked about everybody else, all the other superstars, and how good they were. But look, so I was in those groups or whatever like that. But the harsh reality that I'm trying to tell you about was once I start coming out with the good evidence and chopping these fools up and making a fool out of them, what happened was the LeBron fans, they stopped responding to the stuff I would put out because they figure if they don't respond, none of my posts will get put out there for anybody to see. That's what they knew. Because in those groups, what happened is it's the same ish that happens in the media, right? Or on YouTube. What happens is if they don't respond, then my stuff will be ignored. It'll never get put out there. So they were kind of smart, right? And nobody will see it. Not even the people that was going for me, the Jordan fans or, you know, the Larry Bird fans, the Magic Johnson fans. None of them people will see my post, right? But on the other hand, what they do is, to get all their posts seen, they say a whole bunch of stupid stuff, right? It doesn't make any sense. And what it does, it triggers the Michael Jordan fans. It triggers the Kobe Bryant fans or the Larry Bird fans, whoever, you know, that ain't a LeBron James fan. It triggers them to now go and respond to their posts. And that's how they get all their posts seen. Same thing in the media. What these dummies say to make money, Gilbert Arenas and all these dummies, they trigger the Michael Jordan fans by saying stupid stuff. So now the Michael Jordan fans respond, and now they can get their views, they can get their money, they can get their name out there, and stuff like that. It ain't got nothing to do with them telling the truth. It's about, you know, Gilbert Arenas and other people like this, them just triggering people. So now you can say, man, I got to keep up on what this guy's saying, video to video, because he's going to say something stupid, and I'm going to be triggered to respond. And that's what all LeBron James' career is, really. It's not built off of greatness. It's built off of doing it wrong, him saying stupid stuff, him doing stupid stuff, so people will be triggered. And that's what ESPN does and Fox does in these debate groups now. They say stupid stuff so people will get triggered, so you watch the show and all this stuff. So it ain't about telling the truth. This is how these guys make money. But it's really came to a dead end. And they don't know how to let LeBron James go because he's a cash cow to these people. It's not off of him doing anything great or him being a top 10 player or anything like that. It's off of failures. And they're trying to tell us, no, it's off of greatness. So it's a trigger. It's a trigger. If no Michael Jordan fans or Kobe fans or whatever fans said anything to these guys, it will be over. LeBron James' career will be over a long time ago. Because people will be like, I ain't talking about this. I ain't talking about this. He ain't did nothing. All he is a failure. But that's how it keeps. That's what the NBA wants too. The only reason why they got him around is for a face. That's it. Not for greatness. They can tell you about his greatness, but the eye test don't say it. His history and his pedigree in the NBA and what he does, it doesn't show up to what they're saying. You never heard nothing like this in the past, where people literally have to lie about David Robinson or Patrick Ewing or Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or anybody that just failed. There's a lot of great players that failed, that didn't turn out to what we thought they were going to be. Or they turned out great, but they're not up on that pedestal, right? They were good to great, but they're not on that pedestal with that top 10, with the Wilts, with the Jordans, with the Kareems, with the Duncans, with the Magics, with the Russells, with the Kobes, with the Shaqs. They're just not there, folks. Because with these guys, when push came to shove, they showed up and showed out in some type of way. Some type of way. It wasn't based on, oh, they could never play in that era. They couldn't play in that era. What? This is crazy stuff. What do you mean? Well, we played in that. This is ridiculous. It's about what they did in their era against their competition. That's it. That's it. We never heard no nonsense. Well, Michael Jordan, if he played in the 70s, he won't be doing that, man. Yeah, the word Converse. It's the most ridiculous thing you ever heard of. It's about what you did in your era that made you so great. So if they're saying LeBron dominated his era at 4-6, 6 finals blowout losses, and built 3 super teams, and got all these players, rearranged teams over and over and over again, and only 2 statistical titles, got smoked by plumbers in the FIBA and Olympics, well, that just shows how weak his era is. That's the only thing it does. If you're pulling him out of his era to put him with the rest of these guys I just talked about, his era was weak. Because you couldn't be considered to be on the mantle of your era if that's what you did. If that was the standard of your era, your era was weak. It was weak. Now you're all-time great, yes. But no way is you in that top 10 when we talk about the guys we talked about. No way, folks. Meltdowns and choke jobs and all this stuff, crying and flopping and walking off early. No way, folks. That's the standard of him being a GOAT of his era. Think about it, folks. Think about that. Think about that. And they're trying to say that these guys that I just mentioned in the top 10 could never play in that era. The standard that he set to make him the GOAT of his era. That's crazy, folks. That's nuts. All those guys I just mentioned in the top 10, they give props to each other's, the fans of those players. Like Michael Jordan. We like Duncan. We like Bird. We like Magic. We like Kareem. We like Wilt. We like Russell. We like Kobe. We like Shaq. We like Duncan. But when we talk about do those same fans, does a Tim Duncan fan like LeBron James? Does a Larry Bird fan like LeBron James? Does a Michael Jordan fan like LeBron James? Does a Wilt Chamberlain fan like LeBron James? And so on and so on. No. But those guys in the top 10, their fans like those guys in the top 10. But they don't like LeBron James. Those fans don't like LeBron James. So that's what I'm saying. His career is fraudulent. And the media is fraudulent. I'm trying to tell you guys, ESPN didn't used to be like this, folks. They just reported sports and that's it. It was something big for them to talk to Michael Jordan or talk to Charles Barkley or talk to Patrick Ewing. They wouldn't try to twist words and diss other players for Patrick Ewing or Michael Jordan or whoever. Wilt Chamberlain. They wouldn't diss other players. As players, they wouldn't tell you, oh, well, he could win if he had this. They wouldn't be announcing on TV all the time how much their contracts are going to be. Where can he go? What can he sign with? Yeah, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Charles Barkley's going to the Suns. They wouldn't be telling everybody's damn contract like they just out there playing for money. They ain't making up excuses why they can't play. You got Joel Embiid out. He's like out for like the whole damn road trip I just seen. Really? That's what I'm saying. You expect me to believe these guys are making this money? I don't believe it. If they are, they're stealing from the fans. And, I say this stuff I talk about is because I watched this game. I grew up on basketball. That's what really kept me out of trouble. I wasn't a great basketball player, but I love basketball. Not because of Jordan. Yes, I watch every Jordan game, but I've never seen no antics from any of the 80s players, the 90s players that these guys do today. In the 210s, in the 20s. None of this stuff, man. None of this stuff. If that stuff existed, what happened in the 210s and now in the 2020s, if that happened back then, there would be no NBA today, folks. You know what's so crazy? ESPN okays this stuff. Just because the ratings suck and nobody wants to see these guys play, you shouldn't be putting on this type of entertainment. And what I say is the reason why the ESPN and all these people act like this, because they already know what was going on in the 2000s. They just weren't as good as the guys in the past, the 80s and 90s. So they had to come up with debate groups to get people to watch the NBA, to be interested in stuff like that. But to cater to one guy that just kept failing is crazy. We made a video today about how they destroyed this guy. From international plumbers in the FIBA, in the Olympics, to international plumbers in the league, to international players, period, in the league. All these dudes done ran through this guy, took his gold medals, took his championship rings. They telling their children and grandchildren about how they destroyed this guy. Robert Horry talking about, oh yeah, I got my 7th ring off of LeBron James. But his fans like to throw it, and Jordan fans at nauseum that Horry has 7 rings. And this is stuff I'm talking about. There's nothing real that they talk about. There's nothing real that they talk about. It's just trigger stuff. And this is taught by Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp. Remember, it was Nick Wright that basically started this stuff, right? Around 2018, after LeBron got blown out in the 6 finals. He started talking about Jordan played against unathletic white guys. So if it was a black guy that came out and said this, it would have been blown up. It would have been racial. It would have been crazy. But because Nick Wright came out and started saying this stuff, that Jordan and all these other players in the past was playing against unathletic white guys, it was okay. And that Michael Jordan's competition was this era was this, blah, blah, blah. This was after LeBron had lost his 6 finals, was 3-6, and they didn't know what to do with this guy. Well, you know what to do. Go promote somebody else. It shows how much you guys have no credibility, no analyst skills, nothing. So they lied to make money. So you can see why these other YouTube platforms that have all these subs, how they make money off of lying. Because that's what they were taught by the TV. Because you were looking like, oh, Shannon Sharp lying, Nick Wright lying, Calvin Cowherd lying, Stephen A. Smith lies to a degree. That's the way. That's the blueprint to make money off of lies, folks. This is the world you live in. That's what I'm saying. When I come with my political views, you might not like it, but we don't live in that type of world where everything is like fine and dandy. People's telling the truth, and everything's on the up and up. You don't live in that type of world. You don't. You can think that if you want to. You don't. You never lived in it. Never. But now it's just so bad. It's just like people making money off of lies, and they've been doing it. It's right in your face. All these lies. And you know, us who like the NBA, we could never fathom or foresee that it would be like this, folks. ESPN was the coolest thing to us, folks. They didn't have no political agendas. They didn't have no agendas, period. They didn't lie. They just got on there and told sports. It sounded cool while doing it. That's it. But now they got all these political views and they lie. Not that they can't have political views, but they always left it out of sports, folks. So supporting transgenders and gay this and gay that. That's what they did. But why though? What do you call Black Lives Matter? All this stuff. What are we talking about? This is sports. This ain't no damn CNN. This ain't no Fox News. This is sports. So when you hear about my political views, don't get mad. Don't get mad because they've been doing it for a long time. And they show you when you have a different view than the system. They showed you what they did to Kyrie. They shunned that dude. They say this as a black man, you better just think this way. What the system wants you to think as a black man, and that's it. We don't want you going outside that. We don't care if you got any evidence or if you got your own views. You can't have that view. His view ain't got nothing to do with, you can't have a religious view or political view. They've been doing it for a long time now in sports. So what makes his view so wrong? They've been offended people for a long time. Why do you think the fan base in the NBA, half of it's gone? I don't know how many comments I done read on different platforms all over YouTube. They talking about they won't come back to the NBA until the political ish is gone. Sports is like something we use to get away from life and go watch entertainment. We don't care about nobody. We get enough political views from the damn news. We get their quirky political views that divide the people and that has been dividing the people for hundreds of years. We get enough of that, folks. Why do we need it in sports? These people are supposed to be entertaining us. But that's what we've been getting. So that's what we've been getting. Why are you mad at somebody, Kyrie, who has a political view? If you say black people have been this, have been that, have been treated like this, okay, so how come you can't have a religious view about something? That's the first person you should be listening to, right? If you're saying black people got treated like this and got treated like that, you should be having his back. You should be having his back. But you saw what they did to Malcolm X because he wasn't a Christian. They shunned the hell out of him. They told him he was a quack because he wanted black people to continue to keep supporting each other. Something Martin Luther King didn't want. See, a lot of black people don't know about history and about what they had. They don't know. They hear about Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was all over the United States, in a lot of cities, in a lot of states. They want you to think that black people, just because they was in segregation, that they didn't have nothing. This is a lie, folks. They had their own grocery stores, their own schools, their own tire shops, their own restaurants, their own automotive place where they can get their car fixed, get new tires, get new alternators, businesses, clothing stores. It was in their neighborhood, and they were doing business with each other. So Malcolm X was wrong for wanting to continue that, because a lot of black people think that because it wasn't, they can't eat white people's soup, that white people made the best soup, and black people didn't know how to cook and make their own soups at the restaurant because they couldn't eat white people's soups and sandwiches. It was something wrong with that. Because they're not educated on what they had in their own community. So when desegregation hit, people thought that, desegregation was about, not necessarily everybody loving on each other and coming together. Okay, that's great. No more fighting, no more KKK. But it was about everybody supporting each other, right? Because desegregation didn't just benefit blacks and whites. It would now benefit Spanish people, Irish people. You gotta remember, white people didn't like Irish people. They didn't like Indian people, so-called. I'm just saying, this is what the segregation was about. Irish people was segregated, Indian people, Italian people. So it was about, desegregation was about everybody coming together and supporting each other. You buy off of me, I buy off of you, we support each other. Guess what happened? It didn't happen, folks. Nobody bought off of black people. You can set up a store right now, see how many Indian people, Arab, Spanish, Asian, and mostly white people ain't gonna buy nothing off of black people. And that's how it was back in the day, folks. And black people weren't disciplined to say, oh, you're not gonna buy off of us? We're not gonna buy off of you. And then all the black business just went away in the black neighborhoods. And here come everybody else, the Indians, the Arabs, the Asians, the Spanish, setting up shop in the black neighborhood. Because black people wasn't disciplined. So, you know, I can tell you stories that people won't even tell you on YouTube. They won't tell you that people in the West and in the North was against Martin Luther King. Just because what was happening in the South, which was horrible, it was bad. My family was part of that in the South. And they had to run up out of the South and go to the North. But they're not telling you the whole story about Jim Crow. That most of it don't make no sense. The story that they're telling you ain't really the original story. And I won't get into that because it begins after slavery. But if you've been on my channel before and we talked about some of that stuff, you would know. But what I'm trying to say is what was happening in the South wasn't happening in the West and in the North with black people. So you shouldn't be like, you shouldn't try to put what you want to happen in the South, Martin Luther King, to happen to all black people in the West, in the North. Because black people was doing quite good in the West, in the North. Not so good in the South. We all know that because of Jim Crow. But a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people don't understand Jim Crow. But even if you don't understand it, if you go back and read it, right? If you have an open mind, you say, wait, this don't add up. How do you put Jim Crow on people that came out of slavery? What? If I came out of slavery without a pot to piss in and I don't have nothing, why are you so mad at me? Why are you telling me I can't have nothing if I never had nothing? Doesn't make any sense. And if the North won and they put their good old boys in place, why am I under Jim Crow right after slavery? See, a lot of people don't understand that. And you will come to some conclusion because you think you know, but you don't know. Because the history that they're telling you isn't true. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent. The story about slavery, they're not telling you the true story about it. They're not telling you. I don't care if you want to believe. You can even read the story of slavery from the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, and it don't make any sense. You're going to say, well, what are you saying? Slavery didn't happen? I ain't say it didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. But it did happen in the way you've been told, folks. It's not. I don't even have to tell you my opinion or the truth about it. What happened? I could just read what they're telling you. I could read what they're telling you and tell you that, and you'll say, well, that don't make no sense. Without me really telling you the real truth. Because you won't read it, you'll just believe what you've been told. So you already came to a conclusion. But if I read it to you, what they're saying, from their own books and their own words, you're like, well, wow, that don't make no sense. So, yeah, folks, some people don't believe in my political views because, like I said, some people are gatekeepers. Am I saying the people that I listen to in sports? I'm not trying to say that. But I'm just saying that some of them people, and some people, they're just misinformed, folks. They're just misinformed. My people been here since the 1600s. I'm foundational. I'm foundational, baby. You can't tell me about the history here. You can tell me about the government's history. You can't tell me about this history here. You just can't. You just can't. Like, I'm not going to tell you about your family's history, where they come from, if you just came over here. I'm not going to do that. And even some of my family don't even know the history. Because they've been misinformed by the system. And some of them do. And some people out there know the real history about this country. They do. And about the world. So we just talking about the real history about this country. Now we got to talk about the real history of the world. And it's not like it's hid. People done did thousands of videos on this stuff for the past 20 years. So I don't know why anybody could act dumb. Either that you're just having your opinion and you're stuck on it, that's fine. Or you're misinformed, that's fine too. And whatever you want to believe, that's fine too. But and I don't even go by some just, oh, my opinion. I go by the government's records. I go by the records. That's how I was taught to know the history of this country. I go by the records. There's a history pre-Reconstruction and Reconstruction. Two different histories, folks. There's a history in, there's a law of the land and there's laws of the seas. Right? Two different laws. Two different laws, folks. And you can tell history based on those two different laws. And one of them is just fairy tales. And one of them is just misinformation. In Reconstruction and pre-Reconstruction history, one is just made up. And one is the real history. That's what I'm trying to say. And if people knew the real history, guess what? You would never be offended. If you were black or white, you would never be offended. Trust me. And you won't be fighting. There will be no racial tension. There will be no racial tension. Because these people in the past, whether they were black, white, Spanish, it wasn't their fault. Whatever happened. They were just getting tricked, folks. So, just like we are now. There's no difference. There's no difference. Just getting tricked. Yeah, but the whole Skap thing, what I'm going to tell you is that they're getting on me, a couple of his fans, because of what I said. And the same thing I basically, what I was talking about the Kobe thing, and the same thing I said in that video is the same thing I said to him. Guess what? He did not respond. He didn't say nothing. And it was just a simple answer, or a simple question. And I looked at the comments, day later, nothing. But he done respond to everybody's comments. And this is what I said. Because he brought this up. When he said something about Magic, Worthy, and Kareem all won finals MVPs. So he was basically saying, does that make something about, does that make Kareem better? No, does that make Kareem a 1B? Because it doesn't mean nothing that Shaq won 3 MVPs. That don't mean he was the leader of the team or the Batman. Just because he won 3 MVPs. Look over there. You got Kareem, you got Worthy, and you got Magic that won MVPs in the finals. And I said, well, that's not a good argument right there. To me, it wasn't. It was an argument in the sense that, okay, I agree with you. Kobe wasn't carried. Wasn't carried. We could see his performance in the Western Conference playoffs. Clearly, he wasn't carried. But my thing is, why make that comparison and say, Worthy, Magic, and Kareem won MVPs, and because Shaq won 3 MVPs, it don't mean nothing. Well, how come Kobe didn't win 1 MVP? That's when you're going to lose that argument with the fans that you're trying to justify your argument to, which is the Gilbert Arenas fan, the Gilbert Arenas fans and Gilbert Arenas, because he didn't win 1 finals, a finals MVP. He didn't win 1 finals MVP, because we already know what you did through the East playoffs to get to the finals, or the West playoffs to get to the finals. That means nothing to the finals. I'm not going to try to say it means nothing, that you didn't do nothing, but once you get in the finals, you're in the finals. We don't ever say, oh man, rarely do we talk about what Michael Jordan did in the East playoffs to get to the finals. We talk about Michael Jordan showed up and showed out in the finals and had basically at least 5 great finals, the greatest 5 finals ever, or legendary finals that everybody remember, whether the flu game, whether it's the average, 11 assists or something like that on Magic, the last shot, the 41 points per game, the up and under. These are the things that we remember. We don't remember those playoff runs in the East. We remember what happened in the finals. That's what we remember. So what we remember in the finals for Shaq, he was dominant. He destroyed them dudes. He destroyed his competition. Now, are we saying it's the best center competition? No, we're not saying that. But he did destroy them. He destroyed them. And he got finals MVP 3 straight times, is what I'm trying to say. What else I want to say is, how come Shaq, it wasn't no consensus, like, okay, Kobe, you did help us get through the Western Conference, and you put up some big games that I didn't. Now that we're in the finals, I'm going to let you at least get 1 finals MVP. I'm going to let you get at least one finals MVP, because it's important to your legacy that you get this, because not because I feel sorry for you, is because you did a lot to get us here. If it wasn't for you, because truthfully, the center competition to me was more skilled in the West. In the power forward. So they just, they was giving it to Shaq. So they had to give the ball to Kobe a lot. And let me tell you something, just because you get the ball, that don't mean you're going to hit the shots. It ain't like Kobe was hitting wide open shots, right? You still got to hit you think LeBron going to hit them perimeter shots? No. You think Scottie Pippen going to hit them perimeter shots? No. It's a reason why they give it to Kobe. Because Kobe worked on his game to be a great perimeter shooter. So what I'm trying to say is, how come they didn't come to some consensus, him and Shaq, and say, I'm going to let you shine in this game, at least, so you can get the finals MVP. What about the organization and the coaches? Let's get Kobe these points so he can get this finals MVP, because he deserves it. He deserves it. And because they never did that, and because Kobe never got one finals MVP, you're never going to win that argument, Skap. Right? What did they do on the Lakers? They came to some consensus. They let James Worthy show up and show out. They let Magic in one finals show up and show out. They let Kareem show up and show out. And all those guys shared the finals MVPs. They didn't want to make it about one guy. It was a collection. It was a group effort. We don't know why they didn't do that with the Lakers to help Kobe out. And because Kobe never got one finals MVP, Skap, you're never going to convince Gilbert Arenas, you're never going to convince those fans of LeBron's fans or Gilbert Arenas fans or FYF fans that Kobe was equal to Shaq. And that's why they're going to always have that argument. ESPN is going to have that argument. Fox Sports is going to have that argument, because they're all going for LeBron James. They're going to say, this guy didn't win one MVP in the finals. Nobody cares about the Western Conference playoffs or the Eastern Conference playoffs. They only care about the finals. Like I tell you, Brady put out some historic games, right? When he was going through the playoffs over there in this conference. We just don't remember a lot of that stuff. But when it comes, if Mahomes wins his third ring in three-peat, we might have to go back and look at some of that stuff. Because Brady's competition getting there was just better. And his competition overall in the 2000s and 2010s was better than Mahomes. It just was. The quarterbacks, the running backs, the linebackers, the line, the tight ends, all these guys in the 2000s, 2010s, the defenses that he went against was just better than what Mahomes is going through in the 2020s. There ain't even no comparison. But Kobe was never carried. We all know that. But you're not going to, because he didn't win one finals MVP, you're never going to, that's what I'm saying. Why'd you go in there and debate him? Why'd you go in there? You're not going to convince these people. So you're trying to debate with liars in the first place. But because Kobe didn't get one finals MVP, they're going to say, who cares what he did in the Western Conference playoffs? This is the finals. It's a whole different game. It's about what Brady did in the finals. Clutch. I mean, the Super Bowl. Clutch. Right? Whether he brought the ball down to get the winning field goal, he threw the winning touchdown, or he put up all these stats to win it. It's about what you did in a championship game. This is why Will Chamberlain, people conceive him, he'd never be number one because of what he did in the championship game. A lot of times. He had a lot of bad games. But to me, that don't take him out of the top 10. But that takes him out of the GOAT debate. Because he had a lot of failures in the finals. I'm not trying to say Kobe had a lot of failures in the finals. We know that one. But he couldn't at least get one finals MVP when he was with Shaq. That's going to be your hardest argument to figure out right there. He couldn't at least get one. And you just compare that to Worthy and Magic and Kareem. All of them got finals MVPs. You know why? Because they showed up and showed out in the finals. They were more dominant than each other in different finals. Right? Magic was more dominant than Kareem in his finals. Kareem was more dominant than Magic. Worthy was more dominant than Magic and Kareem. So what I'm saying, Skap can get mad all he wants, but you're to me, he's making a fool out of himself. And Kobe ain't no top, to me, in my book, he's not top 5. If you want to put him number 1, that's fine. But in my book, he ain't, because when you put together the championship, statistical accolades, statistical titles, MVPs, and finals MVPs, he ain't touching Will. Don't tell me about Will only got 2 champions. I'm talking about all his statistical accolades. He was the best in the league in what were assists one year, 11 times in rebounding, 7 times in scoring. Don't know how many defensive player of the year. It's ridiculous. And block titles. Kareem too. Look at all the statistical titles, MVPs, finals MVPs, championships, Magic, finals MVPs, championships, statistical titles. Same for Michael Jordan. No, same for Bill Russell. 11 championships and 4 rebound titles and probably 4 block titles, 5 defensive player of the year. We got to be real. This ain't no one-on-one game. These are guys with positional skills that showed at their position they have positional skills. Now, again, Kobe fans, I know you guys, all this hate. No, it's not hate, folks. He's better than LeBron James. He's a great player, but I'm talking about career. If he would have, maybe if he would have went to the Hornets, he would have had more statistical titles. Maybe he would have been the all-time leader in scoring. Maybe if he would have started at the Hornets, he would have been better than them, a better career overall. But it didn't happen, folks. But let's say if he went to the Hornets, maybe he would not have had those championships with Shaq. And maybe Shaq would not have had those championships. So Kobe's legacy is real important to Shaq. Really important. Because I think Kobe could have really got with another great player and won championships without Shaq. I don't know with Shaq. He was with Penny and he got schooled. And he got swept a lot of times without Kobe. Whatever, folks. Like I said, I'm not going to argue with you if you want to put Kobe number one, but you got to come with some real proof. To me, I never heard no argument of Michael Jordan. He's the greatest because he beat this 50-win teams or these 60-win teams. I never heard nothing like that, folks. Never heard nothing like that with Bill Russell or Magic or nothing. That's your competition of who you play, which is great. You showed adversity, you did great. But to me, that ain't no. That won't be my number 2 or number 3 go-to that I would battle somebody against. That's ridiculous. Just wouldn't. Kobe, all-time great defensive player, great two-way player. But guess what? The guys I mentioned, most of them are too. Been on a high level, and they showed it. Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time. Won 2 MVPs with Kareem. That's crazy. And 3 Finals MVPs with Kareem. That's crazy. And won a championship as a rookie because of him. That's crazy. So I rank my guys realistically. I got so many videos about Kobe, defending Kobe, and everything. So you can't say, I'm a Kobe. I ain't one of these guys say this. Oh, yo, Kobe hater. How? I bet you I done defended this guy way more than you. That's crazy. And I done made a GOAT case for him. If you want to put him as a GOAT, I done made more GOAT cases than these fans that call me a Kobe hater. It's ridiculous. I gave you my case why he's not in my top 5. But you don't give me no case. You just say you a hater. And Kobe's number 2 or Kobe's number. You ain't got no case. And whatever your case is, okay, that's fine. You're a Kobe fan. That's cool. And if you want to put him at number 1, that's fine. Just because, that's fine. Like I said, most of them don't give me no case. The best case I ever heard was Skap. Got a really good case. But the fact is, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even. Let me get off of here. So, anyway, I listen to them guys every day. HOA, he's amazing. All those guys do great work. I don't like Johnny Arnett. I don't rock with him. He does, what's the name? He does clutch work. He showed it. Dreamers Pro, he works for ESPN, in Fox or Disney, whatever like that. He says he don't. You promote these guys every other damn episode, whatever. And if you didn't, how this guy got 100,000 subs just like that? Wow, huh? Channel's good. It ain't all that good. But I guess when you're working for these people, yeah, they're gonna boost your subs up. That's how it is, folks. So, yeah, I don't rock with them too. I don't rock. Somebody else might rock. I'm not trying to say they got bad channels.